I'm Stephanie Oden and the host of Quiet Impact Podcast. And one of the things I spend a lot of time on is affirmations. Maybe you follow the affirmations formula and you think, well, these don't work. You think they might be broken, and they might be. Listen in and you'll see what I mean. And you'll also learn how you can activate your affirmations so you can accelerate your success journey. Welcome to the Quiet Impact Podcast, where we nurture the journey of introverts who desire to achieve greater levels of influence, income, and impact. The go-to podcast for introvert achievers just like you, seeking purpose-driven growth. I am your host, Stephanie Oden. Have you ever desired to have a mentor whisper success secrets into your ear? One with firsthand experience as a six-figure corporate leader, expertise in entrepreneurship, and is an introvert? Tune into each episode where we will provide valuable insights into how introverts can effectively navigate life with full-time jobs, pursue career success, and delve into entrepreneurship. We will explore various business and career topics related to self-discovery, achieving success, and finding joy in the journey. My guest and I share real-life experiences, strategies, tools, and resources that will encourage personal and professional growth, self-empowerment, and living an authentic, purposeful life. Let's get into today's episode. We are not shy, timid, or needing to be fixed. We are an introvert, and that is our superpower. Let's talk affirmations, shall we? I was the affirmation queen. I could create some absolutely fabulous affirmations. And I also attended some very high level elite masterminds where I got even more affirmations because I took in what my mentors were saying and I was reading them on a regular. Here's the problem: they weren't working. I thought they were broke. I really thought they were broke. I'm going to share with you 4 steps that you can use to actually activate your affirmations, activate your intentions. The thing that I've learned is we don't see the dots when we look forward, we only see them looking back. I remember sitting in one of the transformational events that I had an opportunity to go to, and I was between a breakdown and a breakthrough. I don't know if you've ever been at that point, but it was one of those that I was really into moving past something and uncovering something that I had been working through for a long time. And I remember stating out loud that I was broken. At the time, it didn't make sense. And at the time, it was this deep, heart-wrenching, this sobbing cry, like from my core. I felt it with everything in me. I said, I am broken. Now, cancel clear, cancel clear, cancel clear erases that statement so it doesn't stick. Then, not long after that, I physically fell. I had never fallen before, and I broke my ankle in 3 places. Had never broken anything. I've done all kinds of sports. I've done some things I really shouldn't have done, but I hadn't broken anything. I'm not gonna lie. I looked inside. What was I doing wrong? I'm saying all these affirmations. I'm doing all this training. I'm in the success mindset. Again, I don't know what I don't know. What I did know was that I was in this deep valley experience that I, even to this day, I look back at it and I think in gratitude for it because it really helped to shape me into who I am now. And I learned several things on that journey. And I'm only going to share one piece of that with you now. When I did my affirmations, I would say them. And I didn't know. I know now, looking back, the affirmation, the real affirmation, isn't the one that's always the one that's said out loud. It's the one that's running in the background in the subconscious. it was one that I had been saying on the inside for years, years. And it was the real one that was tied to the real results that I got. Let me explain. I attended a Bob Proctor event, his paradigm shift event. And that's where I got this understanding of the conscious and the subconscious mind and the impact and how they work together, the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, and the results you got. The thoughts we think, what we feel produces an action, which leads to a result. What was the result that I got? As I was in my valley experience, my result was I was broken. And I really was just, I wasn't feeling emotion because at that time in my life and my journey, I was really transparently here. I was really detached from my emotions, which means my affirmations were void. I had head affirmations, not heart affirmations. I had all the elements. I didn't pay attention to the feelings part. Maybe, like I said, because prior to the break, I had buried many of them. Side note, feelings buried alive, they don't die. They multiply. They come back. They bite. And the subconscious recognizes the emotion and it decides to produce more emotion like that because it thinks, hey, you staying in this state, you must like it. Its job is to keep us safe. Its job is to keep us habitually where we're used to. This is cool stuff to me. I'm gonna do my best to not get too geeky and keep it here, but it's such cool stuff the way we're wired, fearfully and wonderfully. Thoughts that fire together, wire together, and we keep getting the thing that we've got. So let's bring it back to I said it. I felt that horrible valley painful experience. It led to a result. Now this didn't happen immediately. It was like I said, it was deep and it was over a period of time. And I'm going to give you the formula that I talked about, the 4 steps. But first, let's get set on, especially if you're new to affirmations and intentions, on the words that are often used that are great ones to craft your affirmation statements and your intention statements. I can, I am, I will, I have, I choose, I enjoy, I create, I love, I know. Those are some really powerful statements that you can use to start the statements. Notice I gave you more than the I am because there are other statements. And here's something else that's really important. You cannot create a powerful affirmation, a powerful intention, and sit on your assets. There is the law of Goya. Get off your asset and do the work. Faith without works is dead. Even in the law of attraction, there's action. Let's go into the formula. I learned this from one of my mentors, Dr. Joe Dispenza. So, step one, decide and write your statement. He calls it an intention statement. And I like this above the affirmation because it's big. I've been able to combine my overarching intention with my chief aim. And Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich talks about that chief aim. And then I also stopped having these multiple lists of wordy, superficious affirmations because I had the main one. Maybe it's I enjoy being of service as a 7-figure entrepreneur, as an example. So now that I have my intention, that's step one. You want to set your intention. Step two, now I need you to lean in on this part. Like this is the meat. When I talked about what I was missing with my previous journey and how it's been unveiled to me is the emotion. You want to get into a state of elevated emotion. There's joy, there's confidence, there's feeling unlimited, there's gratitude, there's love. And you're getting into that state. Now, you're not getting into that state because you've already achieved it. You're getting into that state because you want to create that emotion with it. And the way I like looking at it is you can think of a time that you cried on a sad movie. Okay, maybe I'm the only one with the sappy side that I've cried in a sad movie. Or think about one of my favorite movies all time, musical Grease. That part in the movie where Olivia Newton-John said, "Tell me about it, stud." I was so ecstatic. I was like, yes, yes, yes. The first time I saw this, it was excitement and anticipation. It was joy. Or think about when you felt confident when you delivered a speech or you've come out of a presentation and you knew it went well, or you're welcoming a new brand partner, or you've delivered a speech, or you've completed a workout. I came through the experience and I was able to do the jump on two stacks of stairs. There was an overwhelming sense of joy and just exhilaration. That is an elevated station. That feeling, you feel it in your body. You really connect to it. Remember, I said the dots aren't always clear. Let me take you back to my situation where I went through my valley experience, and the emotional piece that I was missing was that intense sadness, that brokenness that I felt with the thoughts that I was thinking, even on the inside. That was the real affirmation I was saying. That was the one that I was connected to repeatedly. And when I look back and I connect the dots, I'm not really surprised that something broke. I'm not. However, knowing this, I know how to flip it and make it work for me. Step three, I also didn't do this because I didn't know then what I know now. Is a whole mental rehearsal. Now you've gone through, you've created your intention, you're in this immense state of joy, and you're thinking about it and it feels good. Even now I'm talking to you about it. I can feel a sense of joy. Now it's the mental rehearsal. This is where you hold the space, where you paint the picture of what attaining the goal will look like. You pick one scene. Maybe you're delivering that speech. Maybe you're coaching that group. Maybe you're in that mastermind, and you let it play out. What's around you? What's the sounds, the smells, the environment? What the colors? What's the room look like? And you're wanting to be as mentally prepared and detailed as if, dating myself again, as if you're looking at the Sears catalog, you see the picture of Barbie with all the things, the Barbie van, the Barbie car, like you see it all, like right there. You can imagine yourself rolling around the house. You tore the page out. You can see yourself dressing the doll, and you hold that image there. That's mental rehearsal. Now, you don't have to do the same one every day. We'll talk about consistency in a second. You could do a different part of being in that big space within your intention. Maybe it's seeing yourself on a family vacation. We've already talked about me and cruising, being on the deck of that ship with the wind blowing through my hair and just that sense of looking out into potential, which is the ocean that's spread out there. Or me leading a group coaching session, or being a part of a mastermind, or giving a speech. Those are some of my things. You know what yours looks like to you. But the key thing is creating that mental picture. And you can create a different aspect of that dream every day. What does that look like when you're playing in your space? As I sit out my office window. Perfect example. Before I transitioned to a full time entrepreneur, I would sit in my room and I'd look out my window and I would envision the days that I didn't have to get up very early, that I could enjoy my time and not be rushed. And it came to be. Step four. So we've set the intention, we've created the elevated emotional state, and we have done mental rehearsal. Step 4, this was one, I didn't do this one either. I only knew what I knew. Now I know what I know. Take a different action that you wouldn't normally do. You say, why is that? Because we're creating new pathways in the brain. And so, what are some of the things you can do different? Right, I'm right-handed. I could write with my less dominant hand, which for me would be my left-handed. You could, and it's only one action. You could put your socks on opposite. So if you always go right to left, go left to right. You could write backwards. I'm one of those people that can write all the letters backwards. Got me in trouble in school. Teacher was not really impressed with my skill and talent, by the way. You could take another way to work. You could sit in a different seat. You could change your office space for the day. You could do any number of small things that they don't have to be earth shattering. It's just different because we want to trigger something else happening in our brain. Now, here's the hard part. And this is why I say pick one intention and follow that intention. And you have part of your mental rehearsal is seeing the other things that may have been affirmations in the past, but you're seeing those as mental rehearsal parts of your big overriding intention. You got your thoughts, you got your feelings, the elevated emotion. You got your action, which are mental rehearsal and doing one thing different. And the results will come. But here's the hard part, doing it every day. Doing this every day. Now, what Dr. Joe recommends is do it before you really get up and you jump into your day. You can literally do it in the bed. Hey, here's my intention. Let me generate that emotional state of joy, of love, of confidence, of being unlimited. Got it. Now, what aspect am I mentally rehearsing today? And now let me take one action. Doing it every day is where you will start to see the pattern change. That's the focus. It's not the words of your affirmation that are broken. It might be some of the pieces that I've filled in for you on how you could actually activate your intentions, activate your affirmation. This I know. When we focus on our goals, the way I mentioned here, you start to see opportunities that align with your intentions. You activate that reticular activating system, RAS. Things that have always been there, but now your brain is wired to notice them. And remember that 4 step? Because you've taken that mindset of doing things different, at least one thing, now you're able to see that you know you need to do that aligns up with where you want to go. You notice it because you broke out of that pattern, that I call it harmonic pattern. You broke out of that and now you can align with where you want to go. When you focus on your goals, you see the opportunities that align, that have always been there, and now your brain is wired to see them. I really want to know in the comments if you're committed to this 4 step process. If you're committed to evaluating your intentions and your affirmations the way I shared here so that you'll be able to say, indeed, my affirmations are not broken. That's my hope for you. Thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Remember to head to my website, stephanieoden.com, and get your copy of the Success Pillars for Quiet Achievers. And you get instant access to that. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Quiet Impact Podcast. Join us next week. And thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for subscribing.